All right. Y'all ready?
Ready?
All right.
All right. Well, y'all, welcome back to the Cunt Call.
Oh,
Frank show.
So
Cool.
today we have two special people. We got Cooley back. Thank you. Welcome back.
welcome back,
I think
Cooley.
people really
Thank
enjoyed you last time.
Yeah, man. I had a great time.
So go on and introduce yourself and where you from, your podcast and stuff that you got to
Like
plug.
like the city I'm from.
No, your podcast, your business, fool.
Oh yeah, straight in the podcast. We got the new set we working on right now. So we finna start that recording next weekend
No,
in
okay.
person. Yeah, so yeah.
All
We got
right. Well, we got a new guest. We've been wanting to get her on for so long.
I'm
Uh,
new, but I ain't new because
she
I've been rocking
actually
with y'all since day
inspired
one.
our podcast. I'm pretty sure we mentioned her before. Uh,
Yeah.
her name is Flo from the Flow Experience. So go on and plug yourself. Tell them about yourself.
Well, what's good, everybody? My name is Flo, and yeah, I have a podcast called The Flow Experience, and I'm on IG. You can get me at flo.exp. Like everybody else, my podcast is on all platforms. The Flow Experience, and yeah, originally from Indianapolis, living here in Atlanta now, going on 10 years. So
And they both have merch. With the country,
yes,
gotta catch up to straight eating it and to the Flow Experience because we don't have no merch in there. So
yeah,
make
I
sure
got a little merch, a little bit of merch. I'm trying to grow it to where I get a. I aspire to have a boutique where
mm-hmm.
I have clothing, candles, and oils. That's my goal,
Okay.
So, but
Mm-hmm.
right now I got a Flow Experience T-shirt, coffee mug, and ball caps, and you can purchase it through my link on my IG page. It's my Etsy store. So
Well,
we
and
just
it's
we just
girl
opened
Right.
our
free. And if y'all haven't heard it already, Granny Panties is
Granny Patty,
out. So y'all should have heard that by now. But
that
if you
shit
haven't,
hot.
go run over, appreciate it. Go run over now to
Yes,
all streaming platforms and
I
stuff.
love it.
Yeah. So and Lee, do you want to introduce yourself?
Well, y'all know who it is. It's me, Lee,
The
and
rebel.
I want to tell y'all to get updates on all of the Cunt Code new episodes. You can type in Cunt Code, one word, CUNTCODE to number 31996.
That girl been working. She been putting in some work, baby. I've been out of commission because I'm pregnant, so I appreciate her because she really been like holding this Cunt Call podcast together.
But when the baby comes, it's all over because I
No
can't do
fuck, because I'm having two babies and I'm being school and I'm had this podcast and my music, so I'm still gonna be looking to you to hold it down. Appreciate it, girl. Thanks. Okay.
Well, what are we talking about today, Free?
Okay, so we really gonna need some help with this, Renee, I mean Flo, cause I know you know about all this fuck shit with these cracker ass crackers, but I've been seeing in the meat. Yeah, I fucking said it. These cracker ass crackers. I've been seeing them acting up in the media, killing motherfuckers. First of all, y'all supposed to be in the house, so I don't know how y'all out here shooting and hunting black people for no apparent fucking reason that I can tell.
Literally
So
hunting. That's
if you can give us,
Give us the story because me
yeah,
and Free don't know what the fuck going on for real.
yeah, I just see bits and pieces, so I don't really know the full situation. If you can
Yeah.
enlighten us.
yeah. I mean, I can give you like a summary of some of the things that's been going on. The first biggest situation was Ahmaud Arbery, who was in I forget the city here in Georgia that he was in, but
He's in Georgia.
yeah, it was in Georgia, and
Wow.
apparently he runs. He's a runner. He likes to jog, and he just happened to be jogging through the neighborhood that I found out that he actually is from. He lives in that area, and as he was jogging, he noticed that there was a house that was empty and was under construction. So he went over and just took a look, You never know. The brother might have been in the real estate, just seeing, what the property was looking like, seeing who was developing it, just taking a look. I mean, anybody with a keen eye for property might stop and look at something that's under construction just to see what's going on. He took a few minutes to do that, got back on his jog. As he's running down the street, two white men in a pickup truck. One was in the bed of the pickup truck with a gun. The other one jumped out of the cab of the pickup truck with a gun. And they cornered the man, like they literally cornered him. Once he ran towards the truck, you can see it in the video. He ran towards the truck, and then when he noticed the truck was kind of like trying to block the way that he was running, he tried to run on the opposite side of the truck to get around the truck.
Mm-hmm.
But the white dude jumped out with his shotgun, and in natural instinct, the brother started tussling with him, like, "Hey, I'm saying, what's going on?" And they literally shot the man down dead in the street.
Mm-hmm.
On the video. If that ain't horrific enough.
It was on video.
Surfaced in this month. What is this, May?
Mm-hmm.
The video surfaced this month. The brother was killed in February.
So they have all this on camera.
But they still ain't arrested.
Nobody was ever arrested. Yeah, nobody was ever arrested. And come to find out, a few things has surfaced since this story was developing. I follow people like Sean King.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps his ear to the pulse. And I just, been watching different postings on Instagram. I don't generally watch the news because it's flooded with a lot of crap.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of stay away from that. But come to find out, the police actually had wanted to arrest these guys and charge them.
Mm-hmm.
But because of their affiliation with the police, the father was a former police officer and a former DA detective or some type of detective. And the son has some type of affiliation with law enforcement also. But their people that they were affiliated with kind of like shut down the arrest and shut down them being charged back in February.
Mm-hmm.
And so once the person that actually videotaped it was an accomplice, he was following behind the truck to get it all on video. Come to find out, that person is apparently those two white men's lawyer. And he is the reason why the video even surfaced.
Oh my God.
So, and this is just what I'm learning, I'm just going off of what, I'm reading.
Mm-hmm.
And so without that video, we may have, never even known that this was even an incident because nobody was ever even arrested. Number two, there would have not been a demand for answers.
Right.
We wouldn't have known to say what the hell is going on because I saw the video before the news developed.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just another video because there's so many of these fucking videos that are out here that are showing police brutality or, just random crazy shit. So I didn't really give it that much thought until it surfaced again.
Well, it sounded like they was just going on a nigger hunt to me.
I mean, that's basically what it was because they claimed that there had been a rash of break-ins in their neighborhood. Of course, that's their first go-to one-liner. And that he fit the description.
The ad trailer park neighborhood.
Come on. And so they said that he fit the description. Well, further investigating that, there has not been a rash of break-ins in that neighborhood. Not at all. So that was fabricated.
So what are the white people saying?
I know one thing. I didn't know who they were. Like, I don't know, like they was a part of police, but I know they sure is ugly when I seen them pictures.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
sure is ugly.
Yeah, they're your typical rednecks. And
they do look like the typical redneck.
Yes. What's crazy is the father. That's some feedback. The father is. They posted a photo of him and our Governor Kemp, being all chummy with one another.
This sounds like an episode of How to Get Away with Murder.
Come on.
If y'all watch that show, y'all know.
I love it. Yes, I do. But
used to watch
it because
you watched that Cooley.
Nah, hell nah. I watch Teen Mom though.
Oh my God! See
what do you think about? What do you think about what's going on, Cooley? As a black man.
Do you feel hunted as a black man? Like you
Yeah,
feel
it happened to me a couple of times.
what happened?
I ain't got shot, but one time I was like 17, and I was on my way to school, but I was standing at the bus stop. So like 30 police car pulled up to me, and they just all on jumped out the car with their guns out, and they were like, I look like somebody who they were looking for, and they showed me the picture. I ain't look nothing like them.
You just
And
look
one
like a
time,
nigger.
yes, like everybody had their gun out. And one time I was in Ohio, I was walking to CVS. It happened last time, matter of fact. And the police officer, when I was walking down the street, he was coming down, so he turned around and he followed me to CVS. And when I got in CVS, he followed me down every aisle. And he walked up to me and asked me, did I know somebody? But it was just a cover up though. But he was like, yeah, you look, you know him? I was like, nah, I only live here. He was like, oh, okay, you look like you know him. And he just walked out.
See,
That's
that's why I
crazy.
don't want to have no black boys.
I'm
I'm
telling you,
terrified to have
I
a
am
black
so
boy. Like,
worried.
I'm good.
I'm
I don't
worried.
want.
Yeah, I'm worried to death because my son, we
Mm-hmm.
shared stories about, his personality. He
Mm-hmm.
wears his heart on his sleeve. He's just a nice kid,
Mm-hmm.
but he definitely, I'm trying to envision himself like you, Cooley, being approached in that way. Like, what would happen to my baby? Because
Mm-hmm.
he's not going to understand. And he's not the type, like, if I ask him a question, he naturally takes 10 or 15 seconds to think about what he's going to say before he outright answers. It's frustrating,
Mm-hmm.
but that's his personality.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about it, that could get him killed,
Yeah.
and it's weird how here we are in 20 fucking 20. This ain't new news. Let's be
Yeah.
clear. This
Yeah.
is nothing new. It's just magnified because of social media. But this is nothing new. And I'll give you a few examples of that. When I was coming up in Indianapolis back in, I think it was 84, 85, a brother by the name of Michael Taylor, y'all can look him up,
Mm-hmm.
30-year-old murder, still unsolved right now today. He was handcuffed in the back of the police car, and they claim that he fished out a revolver pistol out of his sock and shot and killed himself, handcuffed behind his back. They even had the nerve, and I remember it vividly because the city was on fire. They had the nerve to have somebody demonstrate how one can be handcuffed behind their back and slide their hands with the handcuffs on down their legs, and and boom, said he shot himself. Now,
I mean, now if I'm gonna fish out a pistol in the back of a police car, I'm gonna shoot y'all ass. I ain't gonna shoot
thank you. But
I'm gonna
first of
shoot y'all.
all,
Don't do
I
it.
get the
this
fuck on.
happened. This happened in dead summer. Summer in Indianapolis is damn near like summer here in Atlanta. It get hot, especially back in the 80s when weather was what it was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
It was summertime. He had on shorts, a tank t-shirt, some regular basketball socks, and high top shoes. Y'all didn't see a revolver in this man's shoe? To this day, Michael Taylor's murder has been unsolved. Okay, my husband's homeboy Travis. This was a couple years ago, probably about 4 years ago now. He was into it with some niggas. The niggas done shot him. He's on the side of Kirk's grandmother's house, bleeding to death. He had a pistol on him, but he was incapacitated. I mean, he was probably dying, but nobody would ever know. Why? Because the police walked up on him, seen he had a pistol, and just killed him off. Just peeled him off, just finished him. Didn't get a brother a chance to live, didn't get a brother a chance to, and he was obviously incapacitated because he was laying there bleeding. There was no movement. They just,
Damn.
peeled him off. This was recently. You know what I'm saying? And then,
Well, I don't really get into all of what's going on. I don't watch the news. I don't be on
That's
social
what I
media.
say too. I don't watch shit that I know gonna make me mad.
But
That's why
but
I didn't know much
what I
about it.
what I do know though is these stories that happen every once in a while aren't aren't just happening every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And
exactly.
if we really look into what's really fucked up, is that this shit is happening every day in prisons and in jails. That
Yes.
the quote unquote authority, the state, the police really is what they're supposed to be doing, is killing people and getting away scot-free. So don't just let the news make y'all think about this shit. Really stick to it, because that's what happens a lot. Shit come in the news and then it's like it's gone next week. Like this coronavirus shit. Now we supposed to go back to work. You know what I'm saying? So don't let not just police brutality, but the authority is fucking, especially black men, every single day. So I need y'all to get interested more into not just what these little stories, but what's actually happening. Contact your brothers that's locked up and see what's really fucking going on every day. And stick to that. This is not a once in a while thing you care about. This is ongoing, because these are people's lives for real.
That's real shit. And that's the one thing that the media will do. They will sensationalize our culture and perpetuate our issues. And then that's all they think is going on. But we're not going to talk about some of these thugged out ass white boys. We got some thugged out ass black boy, white boys.
Yeah, them cracker ass crackers.
Holding the block down just like niggas do.
Look, I guarantee y'all, when we try to upload this shit to YouTube, they're gonna be like, oh no, this violates community guideline. Cracker ass motherfucking cracker. I said it, I'm gonna say it again. I said it a billion motherfucking times. And I dare y'all to take this shit down. I'm gonna upload the bitch every fucking day.
Yeah.
I can say nigga, and they don't give a fuck.
But Eva on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show, she made that point a long time ago. She was like, it's some white neighborhoods where them niggas turn up. You know what I'm saying? And they got just, they be killing each other and selling dope. They do everything niggas do.
Always been savage fucking beasts.
Where do you think we got the shit from?
We the only ones you see in the news. That's the problem. We're the only one that's being perpetuated in a way that, they claim that's where the issues are. But no, it ain't with us, and it ain't gonna end with us.
They always been fucking devils. Like
that's why I lost a little respect for Obama too, because I forget somebody had got killed. I think it was like Michael Brown or somebody, and he said something bad about the people going on marches and shit about it. But then it was a group of white folks. I think Kentucky lost the Final Four. And white kids went around burning buildings, cars, and everything. Yeah. He didn't say nothing about that.
But that's what black people do. Especially them old black folk, cause they be like, oh, you have to be 110% times better than them. Like they always try to compare our behavior to that of white people. Yeah. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense, because historically white people have always been the fucking scum of the earth. Like they've always stolen everything, raped everybody, killed everybody. So when the fuck did they become our moral compass and how we should behave? Exactly. That's what I don't get, because they've never been people that I would look to expect anything from, except for what the fuck they do. Like when I do see, this stuff about what you say, the boy named Ahmaud and stuff.
Ahmaud,
like I'm so fucking numb to it, and it's sad that I'm numb to it, but it's like that's what I expect from them. If I seen Cooley shoot Ahmaud, I would feel more hurt than I would to see a cracker ass cracker shoot Ahmaud, because that's what the fuck they've done for over 400 years now. It's like,
yeah, and that's funny you say that, because I just had that conversation with my daughter about what it means to be desensitized, and seeing we are, as a human culture, we are desensitized because we've had to endure and take in and witness and be a part of and inflicted with so much trauma,
right?
Centuries worth of trauma,
right?
That we can't even feel,
right?
Look, I'm gonna tell you, growing up in the neighborhood I grew up in, it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. And I remember thinking back when I had went to one of my homeboys' funerals, that I was literally numb, like I couldn't feel no more.
Yeah.
And you get to that point once you have but also, that trauma gets internalized. And so now, you're running around with all of these emotions, because it's not normal. There's nothing normal about seeing somebody's head get blown off. It's nothing normal about seeing a video of somebody getting gunned down for going for a walk or a jog. That shit's not normal.
Right.
But we are so desensitized, and we internalize so much of that trauma. and literally people don't even associate PTSD with just living in our neighborhoods. They associate that with, oh, you must have been in the military. Military ain't got nothing to do. That's not the only place where you can get that type of emotional disability. Just our everyday coming and going. We suffering from PTSD out the gate, so being desensitized is a real thing and it's not our fault. But like I said, they just perpetuate us in a way that, we don't even know how to react. It gets to the point where we at each other's throats about how we ought to react.
And
like y'all said, they protested. Y'all would say they should. What is that?
Ask you and Cooley. I want to ask Cooley from like a son and a male perspective, and I want to ask you from a mother who has a son perspective. When we talk about them old people who be like, oh, well, when you come across police, then you supposed to do this and you supposed to answer them and, keep your hands where you can see. Like, they try to give you all these tips or have the talk with you as a Black boy, like, to try to keep you safe. Like, how do you feel? Like, have you ever had that talk with your mom and your dad, Cooley? Like, how did you feel when you had to have that talk, if you had to talk at all?
Nah, I ain't never had to talk with them. I don't know. I ain't never had to talk. But when I talk to old people, they just say don't trust white people. Because, say you got white friends, right? If you y'all be cool all day, but when they get around some old white people, they gonna treat you different.
Well, D.L. Hughley always say, I think this is one of his funniest things. He always say, he said, white people always want to be Black till the cops come.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
But I know from like just being like the only girl of 5 boys, I remember, my daddy having to have those type of conversations with with my brothers. And my daddy is a very militant person, you know what I'm saying? So for him to have those conversations, I'm pretty sure I would actually like to know, now that I'm grown, how he felt about having those conversations to try to keep his boys safe, because I know at any given moment, my daddy probably would be the type of Black man to pop the fuck off. But
yeah, you can't do that though.
But you can't, and you can't raise your sons to, no matter what he might do, you know what I'm saying? Not to say he would, but he just comes off to me that he would be that type of Black person. I don't think my daddy would just sit there and take no bullshit from white people, period. But I know that, with him raising boys, mostly boys, it's like it's a different conversation that he had to have with them than he had to have with me, or that he probably would even, react to given his own personal situation. You know what I'm saying?
But I think no matter what, even if you sit there and take, you still get shot. Look at you watch Queen and Slim, right?
El Castillo.
Yeah, but you watch Queen and Slim the movie, right?
I ain't seen it yet. I'll be late.
Watch that part when the police officer, he came to the door with attitude. He was talking crazy. The dude here didn't say nothing. He checking the trunk, and then he shot the girl. The girl, she was reaching for her phone. You can't even do that. But he had his hand on it. He was like, "Can you please hurry up?" And then she was like, he like, "What?" He turned around and pulled out the gun on her. So even if you just sit there and shut up, they still gonna make it away. Like what's the dude that got shot? When the police officer asked for his ID, he reached for his ID and the police shot him.
Fidel Castillo, I believe.
Yeah.
The
one happened like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
There's so many fucking like different ones. I can't even remember the name.
Yeah, and I peace to y'all, because if I mess up a name or forget a name, it charge it to my mind and not my heart. But it's funny you say that, because coming up in the 80s, I was the only kid. My father had another son, but we grew up in separate households because we didn't have the same mothers. But my mother was a single mother, which meant that I was, pretty much a kid that had to learn how to fend for herself, because, my mother had to work and do what she had to do. One thing she would always tell me: before you find the police, if something is wrong, find a firehouse. I'm talking about, this was a conversation she had with her daughter in the 80s. This is from a woman that grew up in the 60s and 70s. So the conversations that we are encouraged to have with our kids now, my mama had to have with me in 86, 87, 88, 89.
Yeah.
And she didn't trust the police then because, not to, put it out there, but hell, that's who the best weed was coming from the police.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Tell us more about this.
I'm just keeping it real, you know. And you know, she was definitely somebody that was very aware of what it meant to be Black and be, you know, chastised coming up in the era that she come up in, because the high school that she went to was predominantly white when she first started going there. And my grandparents and her, when they moved on King and Howville, at that time, they were one of maybe 3 or 4 Black families in that whole neighborhood at the time. So she remember having to go to school with, you know, chains and locks on the chains and sticks and bricks, and because they were walking to school. Wasn't no buses then, so they had to walk to school.
Right.
You know, so these conversations now, although they are necessary, it ain't nothing that I wasn't prepared for, to have that same conversation not only with my daughter, but with my son, but with my daughter as well.
Well, let's use this time, Renee, since you are a mother. Well, both y'all are, and you have a son. If a Black man is listening right now, it don't matter how old he is. If he's listening right now, what advice would you give him when interacting with the police? Because he's going to probably interact with the police at some point.
Well, the first thing that I would do is, if he has the opportunity, you know, try not to agitate the situation as best as you can. But what I need to do, and what I haven't do, and what I would encourage parents to do, is teach your kids their rights, so that they can understand, you know, what it is that's going on in front of them. Because I think confusion and fear.
What's the right do they have? Sorry to interrupt.
Have to
but
talk
what's
to
the
the
right?
motherfuckers. That's number one.
That is it.
Do not have to talk to them.
Explain
things
it.
like that.
If they're not
But
arresting
the
you,
police
you
get,
ain't got to tell them a motherfucking thing. You can go. You don't have to sit up in the. You see how you look at what's that shit called? 48 Hours. I used to watch this shit 48 Hours. They be having the motherfuckers in there for goddamn 24 hours straight.
Yeah.
And they can arrest you.
But nigga, you can leave. You don't have to sit in there and be crying and losing it and snitching. You can fucking leave. Just because they take you in the room do not mean you got to sit up in there.
And that's one of the conversations that I have had, is when I've mentioned this to my son, but you know, he's the type of person that I'm going to have to revisit this conversation a few more times, because he's getting to the age now where he's not just allowed to leave and come and go on his own yet, you know? So, but I have let him know that if you're ever in a situation where the police are asking you questions, you don't say a word. And if you say a word, you need to continue to repeat. You need to talk to my mother. You need to talk to my parents.
Because I'm going to be a lawyer and give me about 4-5 years. Call me. Because I'd be out of law school by then.
What are you saying, Cooley?
The police get mad when like Black men know their rights, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool.
But it's better that they get mad than they incriminate you.
I know,
but here's the thing, though. They're gonna get mad. They're already mad.
I've seen it happen before. The man was in their car and he knew it right, so I think you don't gotta open your car door or something like that, right? Or window. He bust his windows anyway. Like the police bust his window.
Now, I'm not gonna tell him to not necessarily comply, but you don't have to, you know, give up all your rights if you know your rights. You know what I'm saying? And even at that, you know, you definitely don't want to agitate the situation, but you don't have to roll over for their motherfucking ass either. You know, there's a medium that you have to be able to ride into. You know, like you said, that makes them mad when you know they rights. Well, you let them be mad. You ain't got to lose your cool.
Hey, let's say
make
something.
Them GED cops think and use their motherfucking heads. The GED cops, they don't want to goddamn think. They don't know the fucking law. Make it hard.
Like if they pull you over for speeding, you can ask for their calibration records. Because the speed trap gun that they're using, it has to be regulated and tested ever so often. And it has to have
let's start with a basic thing. I would recommend have your license already out. Like if you know your shit is straight, just have your license already out, because that's what they gonna ask you for.
Yeah, they gonna still say it was a gun when you hand it to them.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
They still gonna.
Because I don't honestly think white people just want to kill Black people. or white cop. I don't. I
Shit.
don't. I
I
don't.
do.
I don't just think that.
I do.
You do. I don't. I don't. I think they've had bad experiences, and they're letting their
They've
What
had bad experiences with
what bad
us.
experience you gonna
We've
but
have?
they're
had bad
letting one of them control their mind, and that we're all guilty of uh not racism, but assuming things, and I don't know.
I
I
don't think
don't.
black
I
people can be
can't
racist.
name a bad
Well, I'm gonna
experience
tell
a
you.
white person has had with me.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you one thing about it though. You know, we have inherited our tough exterior and our core gut feeling that we are already inferior. We inherited that. There isn't anything that we've done. We inherited because of the beginning of time. We aren't in a position to be racist. We can't. We don't have the authority to be racist. We
Mm-hmm.
don't have control over uh, like our regulated housing authorities. We
Mm-hmm.
don't have control over our voter suppressions. We don't have control over the jobs we can or cannot get. They still control the narrative, period.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not in a position to be racist. We never have been.
Right.
As long as they control the law of the land and the laws that are brought down for us to adhere to and the rights that we're supposed to have. We don't control that. We
Mm-hmm.
can fight for it. We can stand up for it. We can say, hey, it's in the Constitution, I want in. And in order to do that, we gonna protest, we're gonna do whatever we gotta do. We're gonna sign petitions, whatever that is. But we didn't put that shit out there. So we're not in a position to have that type of control over whether or not we're treated fairly or
Mm-hmm.
whether or not they are treated fairly.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have it. We never have. There's only, when it comes to like our media, there are 6 conglomerates, probably 5 by now, that control all of our media sources. That's it. Count up the networks.
Mm-hmm.
We don't own none of that shit.
Right.
We're not in a position to control it. We're not in a position to put out there what we want people to believe.
That would be my message to, if I had a son, like I would want him to try to, kind of dwell in that in one of those spaces. But that's another thing we'll have to discuss maybe later. When Black people do get into certain spaces, then we judge, we say they sell out. But you're gonna need Black prosecutors, you're gonna need Black judges, you're gonna need, I mean, everybody can't be a defense attorney, boo. Because the prosecutors can, say whether or not they're gonna charge you, whether or not they're gonna, just throw that shit in the trash. So you're gonna need people that you might not necessarily agree with or you might not necessarily like, but you're gonna need Black people, you're gonna need people that look like you and care about you on those sides. You're gonna need Black officers, what I'm saying, even though my experience with Black officers have been way worse than my experience than white officers, but that's
I
just
gotta get them a thumbs down
you're gonna need them because all of them not gonna be like that, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's just been my experience, what I'm saying. I ain't never had no issue with
But one thing I will say,
so
we do
far.
need
Maybe after this cracker shit, I might.
But when you get people them Black people that you want in power, you got to get the type of Black people that ain't trying to please the white man. Like you got them police officers or the lawyers, they all trying to please the white man. Like at work, like in my job, probably every job, you got that person, the white man, put in charge for a couple of hours, and he tried to
you
tell
got the
them
house
there.
nigga.
Yeah,
Exactly. Every job since the beginning of time.
You got
what
the
I'm saying,
house
when you
nigga. And I think that's important too. As much as we need our people in positions of power, you're no good to me because you Black.
That's true.
That means nothing. I need you to be up there and make a difference.
Right.
Not only be Black, but be up there and make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can get so, like you were just talking about how a lot of our older generation, their whole thought process is you have to comply. You have to do exactly what they say. You have to speak the way they want you to speak. Like you said, who gave these white folks the right to give us our moral compass.
Damn.
So if we in these positions of power and we have no cultural moral compass, then we ain't no good to nobody. Being black don't mean I don't care. What are you actually doing to make a difference? Now I'm not saying you
My
should
issue though too,
uphold the
sometimes
law.
I feel
That's
like we don't give the person time to make a difference. We think because they're black, they're supposed to just, out the gate just be changing shit. And
yeah.
sometimes you do have, just that's with anything. Sometimes you're gonna have to do shit you don't want to fucking do.
Well, ain't nobody gonna be
Whether you kissing a white man ass or not, you gonna have to do shit you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying?
But
And it might look like to us, well, you a house nigga, but
Uncle
they might
Tom.
be playing the game in order to infiltrate or to get to the point where they can do what the fuck they want to do.
Man, I don't know what game Obama was playing, but he showed he changed a lot for them gay folks. But he wasn't speaking up for us. He gave us a basketball court. That's what he did in the White House. But when it came to them, like gay folks got more rights than black people.
And that's
like,
the thing too, we do have those higher expectations of ourselves, but again, that's something that we inherited.
Yeah, but we should.
Like
it's not that we shouldn't have high expectations.
Yeah, but that's something that we've inherited. Like you said earlier, how they tell us we got to be 10 times better. Mm-hmm. We got to, make certain that we are above the exception and above the standard, which is great.
Right.
But at some point, I don't know what that looks like to be in that position to know how to change things in a timely manner. What does that even look like?
And also, we've inherited a fucking inherent distrust of ourselves. We talked about that kind of a little bit, Lee, when we were talking about supporting the black businesses and stuff, and how you can go to Flo's fish shack and then she have one bad customer service experience will make you be like, oh, that's why I don't support black business. But you can go to Jill's fish shack and have a bad experience, and you might be mad at Jill, but you're gonna go back and go to another Jill's franchise fish shack. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna just stop supporting all white or predominantly white franchise.
They're not. So that's why I feel like stop being fake activists. You know what I'm saying? Like people who really trying to make a change, they be in these streets. Yeah. They don't be on social media talking shit. They be actually doing stuff, making moves. So to me it's like, I know y'all have your life, but do you really care about what's going on? And if you do, get involved. Even if it's just supporting campaigns and making donations, do that.
Or what we talked about before,
sharing shit
about like certain things you could do, like serving on the fucking jury. Like I know a lot of times we get jury duty, like, oh fuck, you know what I'm saying? But that could be the difference between you saving a life. Like my husband now, he got like he been on jury duty for about 4 months or something now, and he's like, he might see some little weed cases come across, like, nigga, hey. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he's like, all the white people be like, no, I think we should give him a little probation or something. And they be like in there arguing like, this is just some little weed shit. And I'm like, well, if a Jack or a Jill come across the paper with a weed charge, it'll be a different situation. But because it's one or something like that, but the difference is they have my husband in there that's gonna argue with them like, nah, nigga, we, you know what I'm saying? Let's throw this shit out and go on to the next. So it's little stuff that we can do in our community, this basic shit that we can really make a difference between.
Something.
Right. You know what I'm saying? They just go to the fucking jury duty with a positive attitude, you know what I'm saying? And come to work and get a nigga off. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's a good day for everybody. So,
you know what's crazy though? That saying that's been around forever. Because they start attacking our young people in school with these harsher consequences versus what they would charge, a bunch of white kids. What they call it, school to pipeline from school to prison.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm watching this series on Netflix, and it's a cute little series. I like it, but it's about these middle class to upper class white kids in a high suburban neighborhood, and they go to these little upper class public and private schools. Well, 3 of the kids then got in trouble because one chick is smoking weed in the science lab. Y'all look, the little autistic boy, he's just in there hiding out because he didn't got thrown off by a bunch of noise and lights. So that's his little hiding spot. The other little white girl smoking weed, and another white girl came in and noticed the smoke from the weed and then hit the fire alarm and started screaming fire. And it causes big ass chaos in this school. They end up, all 3 of them, in the guidance counselor's office, mind you, not even the principal, in the guidance counselor's office. Ain't no police, ain't no security, none of that. They end up in the guidance counselor's office, and she says, well, we're just going to give you guys community service. And I thought about it. I'm like, now, if that was a nigga, he got caught with some weed in school.
And then it's so funny, on the subject real quick.
Going to prison?
Yeah, I was fucking amazed when me and Nick just came from Vegas in March, right?
Yeah.
To see niggas be working in these big ass dispensaries, and I mean they're fucking elaborate, they're fucking amazing. And I'm like, we all know niggas who is in prison right now for selling weed, and you telling me I can move out there and go work at the fucking dispensary part-time something, you know what I'm saying? And they're so fucking happy. They're like, hey, how are you? What can I get for you today?
Yeah.
You know, it's a whole different type of fucking drug dealing, but it's legit, and it's people still I'm like, okay, well, if this shit gonna be legal, let these motherfuckers go.
Yeah.
Because you got all these damn Jims and Bobs in here selling us weed legit. But then you got Daquan still in prison from 20 fucking years ago about a fucking dime.
Yeah, it's just like selling. I used to go to a summer camp. I used to work there too in New Hampshire every summer, right? So that's a number of white people out there, and they real big on pills. So you know they big on pills. People sell pills in the South, like black people, they sell them, but we'll get in trouble for selling pills and shit. But now the police don't even mess with them, and there's pills everywhere.
No, they probably just say, Jimmy, give me those
cocaine.
pills.
You know, like when you these Wall Street people and these lawyers and these, you know, big name people. And then you think about it, the higher up you go within your career, you know, you don't get drug tests. Like y'all a drug test needs to work at fucking McDonald's. But I was watching, so y'all be on Netflix. I can't remember what the shit called, but it's about these two drug labs. They got caught. Basically they was goddamn taking the drugs, but these bitches were supposed to be chemists and stuff. And they was the ones who, like, when you go to court, they'll come in court and be like, yes, this what this nigga had in his pocket was heroin or whatever. But them bitches was in there getting high or whatever, because they don't drug test them. So it's like, how the fuck I'm gonna work in the drug lab and y'all don't drug test me?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seemed like the higher up you go, you really ain't gotta do shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna give y'all another faux pas, if you will. I don't even know if that's right, but it sounded good, didn't it? But listen, so you know I was in the military for 7 years. Okay. They have a policy against drugs. If you get caught dirty with a dirty drop and you got THC in your urine or, you know, weed or whatever, you automatically get kicked out. No matter where you are, you're out of there. However, if you got cocaine in your shit, you can petition the board to go get help and say you a drug addict. They'll bust you down in your rank. You lose some money, lose your position, but you get to stay in the uniform. How fucking weird is that? And what is that actually saying? You know black people smoke weed. So what y'all motherfuckers saying, man?
Yeah, because that's the white people drug. That's why.
Because white is right. But we gotta wrap this up.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up because we could talk about this. We could talk about crack.
Go on and on and on.
Yeah, crackers all day. But we're gonna go on and wrap this up. We appreciate you, Flo, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And Cooley, we appreciate you for joining us too. Y'all go ahead and plug y'all podcast again real quick before we get up out of here.
You want to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go
Ladies
first.
first,
Yeah.
goddamn it.
I
Go
would
ahead.
answer her. I was like, you want to go first?
Okay. Well, again, my podcast is The Flow Experience. You can find it on anchor.fm, Spotify, Apple, Google, and all the other listening platforms because Anchor distributes our platforms for us. So shout out to Anchor. My IG, you could always follow me on IG is flo.exp, where you can click on the link to get some of my merchandise. I've got a low key ball cap, Flow Experience coffee mug and t-shirt. And just, on my ways, expressing myself and keeping it 1,000.
Yeah, she is.
Yes, I can.
Hey,
Oh, my turn. Okay, yeah, we got the Straighten podcast. We got shirts, and we got the mask coming next week. The face mask for the
Oh,
virus and shit. So we got those. We trying to get a printing machine too, so we can get this up ourselves now. Hey, Saturday starting the 23rd, we got game night on Saturday. So we're gonna have like beer pong, spades, Uno. We're gonna do different things every week, every Saturday. Yeah, y'all come through, man. We got drinking
Okay,
games.
so child for the next few months. I forgot
It ain't gonna be that many people in there. It's gonna be like 5 people.
but I
Five.
can't drink now.
where you gonna be at?
We revamping our room right here. It's in construction right now. We got everything
I
going.
see the Oralex back here on the wall.
Yeah, we got everything. We gotta have a kickball game. We setting up a kickball game too.
I got asthma.
It's gonna be fun though, man. You gotta come out, man. It's gonna be fun. Then we gonna have a
Bitches
shot glass.
always got asthma when it's time to exercise.
We're gonna have a shot glass.
They should be passing some weed. Niggas don't have asthma no more.
Nope, I'm good.
I'll be all right.
I'm cured.
We got it.
All right. Thank you for that, Cooli.
Well, hold up. One more thing. We trying to do like a little back to school drive in August for the kids. So we're gonna have back to school. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, I'm with that. that.
And we just opened our bank account for our business today, so we official.
Yes. Who did you open it up with?
I think Wells Fargo. I think.
Wells Fargo, y'all. Go get y'all business bank accounts open.
Yeah, man.
What's the name of your podcast again, Cooli?
Straight Ignorant Podcast.
Straight Ignorant. Y'all
like let me say, we got
country.
Straight. We got the mask right here. Right here.
And they're Falcons fans, so I fuck with it.
Yeah.
And don't y'all forget Granny Panties is out. Go listen to it.
Yes, it is.
Streaming. And while y'all on Spotify, please send me $1. That's all I ask for, just $1.
How can they buy your album?
You can buy it on Amazon Music, Google Play, iTunes, whatever you have. But the rest of them are like if you already subscribe to Spotify or Tidal or whatever you subscribe to, then you can listen to it.
Oh, your album is Granny Panties? You not selling panties? I thought you were selling panties.
No, I'm not selling.
You should.
I should. But yes, my album's called Granny Panties.
The ones you wear. All right, people will pay top dollar.
Y'all don't want that shit.
Look, this man out here who will pay for.
I don't even want them.
Panties.
Hey.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
My homeboy Double R, when he had his album, he used panties as a promo for one of his songs. I got a pair of them in there.
I need to do that. But no, yes, Cooli. My EP is called Granny Panties. So go listen to it. Like I say, whatever you have. If you have a streaming service, if you're not gonna purchase it, I just ask that you just keep playing the shit because they only give you a little penny nickel. Not even.
No, go buy her shit. Okay, y'all got how much it costs?
It's $10. It's like it ain't even $5 though.
Y'all got $5 damn. Yeah, so go buy her shit.
And if you gonna be on the streaming service, if you just prefer to be on Spotify, just give me $1 while you on there, cause my link is up for y'all to contribute, and they have all this COVID relief for artists, cause us artists we can't do no shows. It ain't like I can do a live show and sell tickets and shit right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm just trying to recoup some of this money back that I put in to give y'all this art. So I appreciate any little thing. Like I say, the little dollars add up. I don't ask for much. I'm a simple bitch. You know what I'm saying? Just give me a dollar.
And shout out your management team, though, Free.
Yeah, so LCMG, which is my husband and I. So, you know, we always kind of I think we gonna have our merch before the Cunt Code. The Cunt Code need goddamn catch up with LCMG, but I'm gonna be showing y'all some of the merch that my husband was working on and shit for us. Probably sometime tomorrow, sometime this week. So yeah, my husband always support me. He gonna be dropping some music this year.
Okay.
Some second ass music I hope come out by the summer. So
Hey,
yeah.
y'all gotta
So
mess with some people. Y'all gotta mess with some people on my podcast. We got some people that plugged in that be coming through.
yeah.
So y'all gotta come talk to them, man. They
Yeah.
like this season 3 gonna have a lot of like great people that y'all know.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll be there. Just because you ain't invited us on yours yet. You know, you been
I invited you like in February.
nigga, you ain't followed up on shit. You just like,
No,
oh, I want you to be on there,
no.
but you ain't.
I invited you, and then you told me, you was like the week before, you was like, oh, we gotta reschedule because something, I forget what you said.
That
It's
sound
in my
like me. I'm that kind of nigga. I'm that kind of nigga. I'm always rescheduling some shit. Leah tell you that because she don't fuck.
y'all always invited. Y'all always invited. Just come through, man. We got good liquor. We got good topics.
Nigga, I can't drink. How many
I
times
always
I'm had
said,
to tell you that I can't drink right now?
oh, they'll drink for you then, because I don't drink. So they'll drink for you.
Watching y'all jerk in front of me. All right, well, this was good. Thank y'all. We'll talk to y'all next week.
All right, bye.
All right.